Going live. Just probably turn this a little bit.
Oh, you. This one from you too.
I don't know if that looks dark.
Is your brightness all the way up?
Probably not.
Yeah, that looks pretty good.
We got 4 people. What's up, guys? Oh, yeah, that one's good. You just gotta go. So just go up.
Oh, okay.
And keep it going. I don't know if you want to go from the front or from the side. Competitive edge.
I guess
Developing a competitive edge is really the big thing. We're going to let people continue to come into the live here today. I should, next time I'm going to get my AirPods. My AirPods today. Color good?
Yep.
Let me know when it's like 5:28-ish.
28-ish?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because it's it's a good time to probably to start wrapping it up. Are you live?
Yes.
Okay.
People joining in.
Yeah, nice. Gaining a competitive edge. What are we doing?
David Zamori.
816 for Howard Washington. What are we doing? What we're doing is we're talking about developing a competitive edge. And, you know, we've been doing Instagram Live stuff, and today we're doing YouTube Live for the first time, which is going to be exciting. The big thing about trying to do the competitive edge is starting to get a little bit more on the mental side is I do think there's a lot of strengths that we can develop from going into the kind of the mental side and the off the field side. And then I also think that there's obviously a big impact on performance when we start talking about your ability to develop a competitive edge. And it is something that I feel like, you know, I think we've been able to do a good job here at the Performance Lab of separating ourselves and making it so we are a good option, at least, for a discovery of what you can do in order to achieve that. And the first thing comes down to commitment, right? And when it goes to commitment, I mean, there's different levels for different people. So, you know, just to give a little bit of background of even like today, right? One of the things that like last night I didn't end up getting done with work until about 1:30 a.m. in the morning, and had to get back up at 5:30 in order to work out at 6 a.m. And so just to give an idea of, and you know, it's a lot of typical things where you have that willingness and that commitment to saying, look, I'm going to be, and that's why one of the things I do is I set up for like early morning, I'm doing stuff. Every single morning I have something planned, because if you don't have something planned, if you're not committed to something, then it's a lot easier to say no, right? What is your why? What is your reason for wanting to get up early in the morning? What is your reason for achievement? What is your reason to be the best quality of yourself? And that's obviously something that's very important to get to, and we can go more into that. But the reason I love competitive edge is because really what competitive edge comes down to is your ability to look at the small things and be committed to improving the small things, and not getting too never settling, never saying, okay, I'm going to be content in the current situation. And the reason, again, why we go into I think we're good at it is when we talk about looking at the throw, when we talk about looking at the sprint, when we talk about looking at jumping, I don't think that there's very many people, or if any people, that are really breaking it down to the level that we're breaking it down, where we're looking at how well the foot is moving, how well the ankle is moving, how well the knee is moving, the hip, the pelvis, the low back, the mid back, everything we're assessing, we're breaking it down, we're trying to get a better understanding for it. Because if we can maximize your ability to really take that competitiveness to really say, I'm gonna be great at activating in my foot, I'm gonna be great at activating in my ankle, I'm gonna be great at activating in my knee. There becomes a point where your overall expectation of yourself just gets that much higher, right? And the reason that's so important is because in order to achieve what I know many of the people that are following us, many of the people that have something to do with the Performance Lab are wanting to achieve, we have to be able to take full advantage of the opportunity. And being able to take full advantage of the opportunity comes down to being able to look at the small things, and being able to look at the small things and be great at the small things is what develops that competitive edge. I mean, I just got done listening to Bill Walsh book, and I think Bill Walsh is absolutely amazing because of the pure fact that he is going to 100% look into the details of what makes a great team, what makes a great organization, what makes somebody go from average into maximum performance. And he even has a book where it's I want to say it's the winning edge, finding the winning edge. And so in order to be that same type of person, that same quality of person of looking into the competitiveness, again, it first goes down to being committed. So how badly do you want to achieve your goals? How badly do you want to actually get better? How badly? That's why we develop these programs where it's online. And the reason I love going online is because it puts a lot more pressure on the person that's participating to really take full ownership of what it is that they're doing in order to maximize their performance. So if you're going to go and have a coach, and because I do that as well, I have people that I work with, and with the people that I work with, it becomes a lot more about, okay, I'm putting in just as much as you're putting in. I'm putting in the time, putting in the energy, putting in the effort, which is great. You get a lot out of it there. But if it all of a sudden gets put on you, where now you have to go and step up, and you have to be able to change and get uncomfortable a little bit, now that's going to really put a whole nother level of commitment to what it is that you want to achieve. Because if you're really at the heart of it, if you're not committed, if you don't care enough where somebody doesn't have to be on you all the time for it, then you are not going to be able to get to where you want to get to. You should be able, if you want to run faster, if you want to throw harder, if you want to throw further, if you want to be able to jump higher, you should be able to get 100% committed to it, to a point where you're excited for it and you have energy for it and you have the willingness to be dedicated to it, whether there's people around or there's not people around. Because if there always needs to be somebody else that pushes you and somebody else that's going to bring you to that next level, then that's going to always be the case, right? You're going to always need somebody. So what happens when somebody's not there? What happens when you lose that person that you need, that exterior motivation that you need? Then you're going to immediately tank. You're going to immediately fall off. So in order to really maximize your overall potential, you got to first be committed. And even in commitment, we got to get into committed to being better at the small things. The little things are going to be the separator. One of a great thing that I listened to was talking about how, when was the last time you heard somebody got bit by an elephant, right? You never hear anybody get bit by an elephant, which would be kind of the big things, right? It is the mosquitoes. It is the, it's the bees. It's the small things that are going to end up biting you, that are going to end up slowing you down. It's not going to be the giant elephant, or when it does, it's not, very few people that does that happen to. You're much more likely to have the mosquito bites and the small things that are coming after you that are really hindering your ability to perform, not so much the big things. And then the last thing is just overall willingness, right? You want to develop the will, right? There's a lot of things that I know I believe that we've been able to accomplish as a business, I've been able to accomplish as an athlete, just because of the willingness to want to be great at that, the willingness to want to help people all over the world, and being 100% committed to ensuring that even if you're in Australia, or you're in Germany, or you're in Florida, or you're in wherever it is that you're in, you're still going to get value, you're going to still learn a lot, you're still going to get a level of improvement from what the performance side offers that nobody else will be able to give you. And I'm 100% committed to that, and I'm 100% willing to do whatever it takes to do that. That's exactly what is happening, and it's what's going to continue to happen, because that's, I think, what so many people here want to do within the performance side. And I think that there's a potential for us to actually do it and do a much higher scale than what we've already started to go out towards, and can continue to build through from there. And the reason I bring that up is just because you want to be able to get a good understanding, a good story of what it is that willingness truly is. Okay, willingness is you got to go above and beyond what is your comfort zone and get far outside of what your comfort zone is. And if you can get truly outside your comfort zone and have a will to do that, then you already, from a competitive standpoint, have been able to maximize a part of your overall achievement, and will be able to get to a higher potential than somebody that just doesn't have the willingness to get outside the comfort zone. So, so yeah, I mean, being competitive, the longer that time is spent, the older that I get, the more that I realize that at the heart of so many great people are competitiveness. It is competitiveness and is your ability to have that will to win no matter what. And if you really, really want to achieve something, then you have to refuse to lose in whatever it is that you want to achieve. I truly believe in that. So I'm going into a question there. What are our future goals for the PLC? That's a great question. So really the future goal is, I kind of went into it a little bit. So we want to be able to provide a level of athletic performance, right? So we want you to be able to throw harder, run faster, jump higher, and have a very good quality program, very organized, very integrated system that you can access from anywhere in the world, and also make it very, very individualized. So no matter where you are, you're getting personalized coaching from us. And just be able to scale that out. So right now we do it where it's like, calls, and we get on the phone, and we do all the videos, we do all the breakdowns, but we want to get to the point where, you can even do it through like an app where you can just get a lot of the same information that we're giving you from a technological perspective, really anywhere, right? And be able to get a lot of biomechanical feedback all on the hands of your phone, be able to get exercises and really just be able to overall give you the ability to be great, give you all the tools to be great. Next question is, how long has the PLC been around? So we started in June of 2014. So next month is going to be 4 years. 4 years is how we've been around. It's crazy how fast it's all gone. I'm already 27. Jeez, I remember graduating from college like it was yesterday. I remember graduating from high school like it was yesterday. And I remember going into high school like it was yesterday. So, and that's what obviously what I love. There's a lot of guys that I know we're working with that are in that kind of high school, college, middle school range. And I relate to what you guys are going through, and I relate to how badly at that time I wanted to be a NFL football player. How badly I would do anything that I possibly can to become an NFL football player, and I wish so badly that I had a service like what we're trying to provide at that time, because I know that I would have utilized it, and I would have been able to achieve a lot more, and that's why there's so much motivation, so much of a willingness to achieve exactly that for everybody else. What are some tips to be a great leader? I love it. I'm going to make a video about that. Whoever said that, I love that. I want to make a video. I would say the biggest thing is what I just talked about on the competitive edge as well. If you're interested in reading a great book, it's Your Comfort Zone is Killing You. Okay? And what it takes to be a great leader is you got to be able to get outside your comfort zone. That is at the heart of it. Is can't be in your comfort zone. And if you allow your comfort zone to control you, you're never going to be a great leader. Okay? Because people are going to follow somebody that's able to, go outside of that comfort zone and achieve stuff that nobody thought that was possible, right? There's everybody that you see when you're watching online or you're looking for leadership, they have achieved something that other people have said that's not possible for you. You're going to be low or whatever. There have been other people that have put them down, and they've been able to achieve and get higher than what other people's kind of perspective are of you. And so if you can get outside of that, if you can be somebody that, there's a certain expectation of what you can currently do, and you go and far, you exceed that, and then you go even on top of that and far exceed it, now people are going to be much more willing to follow because they want to understand what it is that you did and how they can do the same, right? We all want success. Nobody wants to be a failure. Nobody wants to be average. Nobody wakes up in the morning and say, I can't wait to be average. Oh, I had a great day. It was average, right? You want to have you want to have a great day because it was great. Everything that happened was great. It was awesome. It was amazing, right? You want those types of conversations in mind, not because it was average. Aerobic training and team sports. I think that is, and this will be the last question that we answer. In terms of aerobic training, I don't think that it's bad. It can certainly be overdone, right? So the thing is, though, is from a pure mental perspective, you don't want to go into any type of training with a negative mindset, right? The best you can, you want to be able to keep it all in perspective, right? So if you're going to aerobic training thinking, oh, this is bad, I don't need this is not the right thing for my sport, whatever the case may be, I think you're already kind of losing from a mental position, where really there's in every situation, you can try to get the best out of the situation. So, if you're doing aerobic training and maybe, running like cross country for football, which doesn't really transfer over super well, you can still figure out ways where you can get a lot of benefit, you can get a lot of gain out of that aerobic training, whether it is going hard for a certain amount of time and then going and relaxing, more like how football is, or just challenging yourself to go outside a limit that you don't feel comfortable with. There's so many things you can get out of training, right? Just getting overall stronger, better as an individual. That's more of the mindset, right? You're improving. You're not taking steps backwards. And so when you're doing aerobic training, even if sometimes it's not necessarily the most important thing at the time, it's still something that can definitely help. So yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in for the Instagram Live, YouTube Live. We're going to continue to make these videos. We're going to continue to try to add more and more content for you to be able to continue to help you out as much as we possibly can. And yeah, I hope you guys love what you've seen so far. And if you have any questions, let us know. You can shoot us a message, and we'll be able to get back to that. But until next Monday, we'll see you soon. Yeah, see, Insta or the